All right, good morning. I believe it's day 3 of my caffeine detox. And I yesterday I mentioned that I was going to try to get a little bit more objective information into addiction and maybe even study um, scripture in terms of things that we should and shouldn't take into our bodies. Haven't gotten that far, but I did get to the addiction part. And so I just happened to have on my Kindle the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, aka DSM-5. And so I was curious as to what it would say about caffeine. Well, to say the least, was a bit shocked. So, under the chapter titled Substance Related and Addictive Disorders, is kind of the broad category of things that you can take that'll cause you to become addicted, or disorders or behaviors associated with addictions. And here's what it mentions. Of the 10 separate classes of drugs: alcohol, caffeine, cannabis, hallucinogens, etc., etc. But caffeine is listed as a second type, not in category, but just the second type, which really shocked me that caffeine would be next to alcohol in terms of a substance, which could create an addictive disorder. And so, just a little verbiage from this chapter heading: all drugs that are taken in excess have a common direct activation of the brain reward system, which is involved in the reinforcement of behaviors and production of memories. They produce such an intense activation of the reward system that normal activities may be neglected. So that's page 481 of the DSM-5. Let's go on a little bit. Okay, I'm going to drop some knowledge. When we move to the chapter that's dedicated just to caffeine-related disorders, there's an entire category under caffeine intoxication. Then there's caffeine withdrawal. So I'm pretty sure that I've been dealing with caffeine withdrawal objectively. Here's the verbiage under caffeine withdrawal. The essential feature of caffeine withdrawal is the presence or characteristics of withdrawal syndrome that develops after the abrupt cessation of, or the substantial reduction in, prolonged daily caffeine ingestion. The caffeine withdrawal syndrome is indicated by 3 or more of the following: headaches, yep, fatigue, yep, drowsiness, yep, dysphoric mood, I don't know, depressed mood, maybe not, irritability, yes, difficulty concentrating, maybe not, and flu-like symptoms, until it goes on. So my mind is just blown right now because I am going through textbook caffeine withdrawal syndrome. It's okay, baby. I hope you clean it up. So, just crazy. And caffeine intoxication is considered the intake of, excuse me, as I turn away, I'm just kind of looking through this manual, of, I think it was 250 milligrams of caffeine at one time, right? And that's at one time in one consumption. That's a lot, because a typical cup of coffee is about 64 milligrams, or the typical shot of espresso. On a regular, I would have a cup of coffee with a shot of espresso, which is Americano, or excuse me, not Americano. It's like a red eye or black eye. So that's 120 some grams of coffee right there, milligrams of caffeine. On the daily, I would have 5 to 6 cups of coffee, right? And again, my coffee is home roasted, so I roast it at a lighter level, which gives you a higher caffeine because it's lighter roasted. And so I'm pretty sure that I've been upwards of 350 milligrams of caffeine per day on average. So I think I'm well within.
Daddy, I'm gonna go get a Q-tip. I need one for my project.
Okay, baby, go ahead. I think I'm well within the category of those that could have perhaps been considered intoxicated by caffeine. Mind blowing, right? And so I bet you there's a bunch of you out there too. Here's my point: just know what you're doing to yourself. I didn't know this. I was not aware that there was such a category within the substance related and addictive disorders manual. I did not know that. Um, and knowing makes all the difference. So, mood. Well, I've had a consistent headache now for, I don't know, like 3 days, right? It's still there. Um, really struggled not to just drink a cup of coffee. My lifestyle, I'm learning, probably revolves around being highly caffeinated.
We got something good.
Okay, daddy's doing a vlog right now, sweetie. I'll talk to you a little bit, okay? Do your thing though. Millennial dads, right? Um, I got off work last night about 12:30. After midnight, got home about 1. Woke up at 6. I was struggling. It's going to be even worse this weekend because I have 2 grave shifts. And then I have things that I do after I get off work. So caffeine was part of the way that I was able to work these late shifts, work overnight shifts, do things at the church, do things here with the kids. And it's really starting to show, like, without caffeine, like, I don't have the energy to keep up with all this. And I'm curious what Monday will look like. So stick around, but I can see now that caffeine has been a regular part of my lifestyle in order for me to kind of maintain this I don't know, this repetition of just consistent awakeness, which tells me that, and I'm kind of learning, without the caffeine my body needs more rest. So I probably should have been taking way more rest than I've been taking in the past. And so I'm going to be interested the next few weeks to see if I'm going to need to change my lifestyle as a result of not having caffeine on board all the time, because I'm just tired more, which is normal, right? America, we go, and I'm going on a little bit of a monologue here, but we are constantly going, constantly finding more things we can do with our time, constantly finding more efficient ways to do things, whatever. And we're losing out on our rest, we're losing out on our sleep, and our bodies are paying for it. And so, after about a month of doing this, and I'm not saying that I'm going to stop drinking coffee forever, but I know that I have to change some things. But I want to really see, after a month of doing this, is it necessary for me to perhaps consider changing my lifestyle? Maybe adding more sleep, more breaks, more naps. Um, Maybe even consider working different shifts. I don't know. Before, it was nothing for me to work a Friday, Saturday night, and then just get off work, hang out with the kids, take a nap, sleep before I go back into work and do that again, right? That's going to suck now. So mood, I'm not sure. You figure that out. Sleep last night was pretty good, even though I only had 5 hours. But I slept like a rock for 5 hours, and this is probably the first time I've been able to sleep this well in a while. And productivity, I don't know. I'm not certain that I'm getting a lot done because right now there isn't much to get done. So anyway, this is very eye-opening to me, and I hope that you guys find it eye-opening as well. It's just information. I'm not here to say that anybody that drinks coffee like I do and, you know, makes it part of their lifestyle, part of their culture even, part of their tradition is a junkie. But I am here to say that caffeine withdrawal is real and that caffeine intoxication is real. So, see you tomorrow.